Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Thursday morning. It is September 25th and it's 3:26 in the a.m. I'm going to start this message off with a quote from one of my personal heroes, Mr. Malcolm X. Says, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Yeah. Can we please, pretty please, with sugar on top, stop using the term political violence. And let's call it what it is. You played a stupid game and you got a stupid prize. That was hate speech. It was hateful rhetoric. And the reason that I used the Malcolm X quote is because Malcolm was known for the exact same thing until he made his pilgrimage to Mecca. And he woke up to the beauty of his faith. He woke up to understand the essence of brotherhood. And for the people who don't subscribe to religion, I respect your positioning as well. I want to say that Richard Pryor is quoted as having the same experience as Malcolm did after his pilgrimage. Why is Charlie Kirk being made a martyr? And that's a question I'm posing. And like I said, I know some people are going to be upset. I'm already knowing. There's some rhetoric going on which speaks to how we see God, how we view Christianity. There's a very small faction that wants that word or that identifier to be all-encompassing. But then we have phrases like the black church. Then if you look at church structure and setting and dogma, you have to take into consideration that what we label as the Sabbath, Sunday, and the hours between 9 and noon are the most segregated hours in this country. At one point in time, when I first moved to California, my mother, God rest her soul, had joined this church. It was under the auspices of the Baptist convention or Baptist tradition, which, we were raised Baptist. I was raised Baptist as a result of my mother being raised Baptist. And that tradition goes way back. I can tell you the name of her home church in the city of Lackawanna, and I can tell you the name of the church in the, I want to call it a township, but it's a city, but it has a name of a township. Buckingham County is where my mother was born and raised. I can tell you the name of the church that the family attended and still attends to this day. Okay, so Baptist born, Baptist bred, and when I die, I'll be Baptist dead. Although, I've participated in African American Episcopal, Lutheran, and some other denominations. Family roots are Baptist. That being said, it's like we have definitions and understandings of who Christ is and how Christ moves, yet we're still segregated. And there was an internet wave at one point in time talking about one gospel artist and one secular artist who were Trump supporters. I'm all for you having your politics. I really am. That's your right. I'm all for you having your personal theology. That is your right. What I'm not for is people trying to force their opinions or sell their opinions under the guise of proselytizing. That I'm not for. The other thing that I'm not for is that if your understanding of certain things as it relates to Christ and the following of Christ relegates some people to the fringe or gives them second-class citizenship to your belief construct, I can't get with you. I cannot get with you. And the greatest of these is love, is what stands out for me. And that's in that book that we preach from. That is in that book that we teach from. Looking down on somebody. The only time, this is a classic quote, the only time you should look down on someone is if you're helping them up, or if you're looking down at them to cut a path to the hem of his garment. And I mean that with my whole heart. Now, some of us have adopted some ways, and I include myself, and some feelings, and I include myself, that require fact-checking and correction. And as I shared with you yesterday, a lot of what we get into is the result of our poor choices And I'm not afraid to look at me. And when I do this self-examination, I will either come back to the source of contention and offer an apology, or, now here's the or that people don't get, that we don't get to because we're always expecting an apology. I will tell you that I'm not apologizing, and I'll tell you the reasons why. And like I said, we're so deeply invested in an apology that we don't give credence to other people's positioning. And like I said, I'm all for it. I don't have to be privy to it. And that's the part we miss. I want you to give that some consideration. The next time you want to give someone a piece of your mind. First of all, can you spare it? And second of all, why are you doing it? Your anger, your energy is not going to change a position when a person has made up their mind.